Meredith, thank you for that. She is the one responsible for bringing these two beautiful cars here. Aren't those cars hot? Yes. And they're connected. Thank you so much, because we didn't think we could do it until Meredith got involved and says, we're going to make those cars happen on that stage. Thank you, Meredith, and thank you for all you do for our industry.
Fantastic.
Great. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, welcome to the world of the connected car. You know, and I think, I can't see all the way in the back, but it looks like there's a lot of people here that are interested in the topic. It's an exciting growth area, and hopefully if you're not fired up now, we'll fire it up by the time this session ends, so you can feel the energy and the growth opportunity that we have in front of us with the connected car. We have a really packed agenda and a relatively short time to do it in, so I'm going to keep my remarks relatively brief. But here's what we're going to have for you today. First, a view of the size of the business opportunity, the ecosystem that represents the connected car. Then, a panel discussion with some of the best industry experts in the world talking about their view of the connected car. Our personal view and our vision is that the connected car is going to change everything about our lives. We're only at the beginning of the connected car revolution, but the changes are coming faster than we've ever seen in the past. And the real focus will be on safety and security of the connected car. I first want to give you a picture of the enormous size of the connected car segment. According to Strategy Analytics, by 2017, 32% of the new cars sold globally will be embedded with a cellular module. And in the US alone, the country that leads the world in LTE deployment, that number will be 60%. 60% of the cars in the US will be embedded with a cellular module by 2017. And that, folks, is 10 million cars with embedded cellular connectivity by 2017. Do you think there's a business opportunity there? I think so. In fact, according to Accenture, by 2017, Accenture expects the segment, the connected car segment, to grow to 104 billion globally and to 35 billion in the US alone. We've been doing an amazing bit of research with Ericsson at the AT&T Drive Studio. And here's some really interesting information that I wanted just to preview for you, but you're going to hear a lot more from the panel. We have been surveying customers, and 72% of the drivers are telling us that they would delay their car purchase by 1 year to buy a car with connected car services from their preferred brand. And in another part of the same study, when asked about carrier plans, US drivers prefer adding service to a shared data plan. That's great insight into what consumers want from their connected life, from one wireless company that provides them the amount of data that they need in a way that they can share it, not only across devices, but among group members of their family or their group. And that's really why we created AT&T's Mobile Share Value Plan, which allows customers to truly share their data across people and across devices. I think the key for our industry to prosper in the connected car space is to make it dead simple for customers to add those cars to rate plans, no matter how we structure them, but we think mobile share value plans are leading the way. The connected car, I think, is going to change the entire wireless industry and our lives in much the same way that the smartphone propelled the wireless industry to a new level and changed the way we live, work, and play. So we see the connected car as the new wave of opportunity for wireless. In the Internet of Things, the car will be one of the most significant elements of the Internet of Things, along with your home, connecting people's lives and things together. And at AT&T, we're really excited to be leading the way with LTE connected cars in the US, and we're looking to expand globally. The connected car will change our lives as individuals as well. The technology will make the car safer and more intuitive for the driver and more entertaining for the passenger. And I think it will link our connected car experience with all the other connected experiences in our life. These are just the highlights of the connected car ecosystem, but I know you're eager to learn more. We'll do that with a panel discussion with 4 industry experts. But before we get to that, let me pause for a minute. As you're probably aware, less than 2 weeks ago, we made an important change at AT&T, and we've designed to bring together our mobility and business services organizations together. This is a move, it's a reflection of our focus on giving business customers worldwide the emerging services and solutions they need, which increasingly are all mobile-based. I'm now heading that new organization as president and CEO of AT&T's Mobile and Business Solutions, which includes both mobility and business solutions worldwide. And we promoted Glenn Lurie to president and CEO of AT&T Mobility. I'm sure that everyone here is familiar with Glenn. He's got a great track record in this industry, and he's been leading AT&T's Emerging Enterprises and Partnerships organization, and he's been a key partner with us and with the industry in development of the connected car business. That's why I've asked Glenn to join me here leading the Connected Car panel. So would you give Glenn a big welcome, please, Glenn. Glenn Lurie. Welcome.
Thanks, Ralph.
Have a seat. You know, Glenn, I was reflecting as we're sitting up here. We've got two of the most beautiful cars, the hottest cars in the industry, connected. And it wasn't that long ago that you and I, as we were looking at this industry, had debates with people as to whether these cars are going to be connected at all. Do you remember those days?
I remember them very well, as do the two partners we have in the back.
I tell you, but you've made some tremendous changes. Can you reflect on what you've seen over the years, and especially, can you comment on how you see the cars and the other things in the home being connected and being brought in a great customer experience to our customers?
So I think if you step back, one of the exciting things about this car business is if you just go back 5-6 years ago, when we talked to an automobile OEM, the discussion was about, hey, it's about safety and security, give me a 2G module and give me some cheap rates. That was what it was about. Right? And what's changed just in the last couple of years, and I think Meredith said it well, and the funny guy in the video said it, is the car is really becoming a smartphone with 4 wheels. And the OEMs are seeing that, and they're seeing that the whole ecosystem has to come around that. And so that change alone is why we're sitting here at CTIA with 2 cars on stage with us. And the change has been unbelievable. I'd also say that it also really links into mobilizing people's lives. You hear Ralph and I talk about that all the time. And car is one element of that, but you know, it starts with that smartphone, right? It starts with we like to say at AT&T, that smartphone is a remote control for your life. It drives everything. I think many of you would leave the house with anything else you'd leave but the smartphone in your hand. And then you take that to the home, right? And obviously, you know, we launched Digital Life about 12 months ago, and Digital Life is our all IP-based home security and automation service, which we're very excited about. We've made some fun announcements here at the show. And the home is so personal and needs to be connected. And then really everything in between. So I think, Ralph, the great part of this is people's expectations is that we're going to help them mobilize their life. We're going to deliver a simple customer experience. And I'm really excited today. We're starting here with these terrific cars and our partners in the back.
Let's get the panel started.
Let's get it rolling. All right, let me show, as I knock, there goes the water. All right. Let me start with the first person we're going to bring out is Mary Chan. Mary Chan is the president of Global Connected Consumer at GM. We've known Mary for a very, very long time, many years. She understands our industry. She comes from our industry. Mary is more of a technologist than a car maker and absolutely has been driving GM to 4G LTE in their vehicles. Her heritage and GM's heritage with OnStar is probably the most successful in this space. So let's bring out Mary Chan.
Mary Chan. Have a seat, Mary. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Hey, Mary. Nice to see you.
Morning.
It's a great day, Mary, to have that Stingray sitting right here.
Especially the red color. Fits perfectly.
I remember when you and I were first talking about doing this, and you said, you know, Ralph, when we put the LTE in this car, we're going to let you test it. And the next thing that you know, there's a Corvette shows up in your driveway. And that's a heck of a lot better than any other smartphone I've ever tested, let me tell you. She let me borrow it for a few days, and a funny story, in the middle of all of that, I had to go out and get some Chinese food, so I left it in the front of the place, go to pick the food up, and I come back, there's a crowd around the car. Yeah. And I go, boy, these people really like LTE. But it is fantastic to have you here, Mary. You have been a pioneer, and it's almost been, I guess, less than 2 years since we started down this path. And please tell us how you feel about this, and more importantly, what do you see as the future vision from GM's point of view about the connected car?
First of all, Ralph, I just want to take the opportunity first to thank you for your leadership and Glenn's leadership in really bringing this whole connected home and connected car in this forum and make it your core strategy and vision. You know, this is really an exciting opportunity for the auto industry, and I'm excited to see the kind of automotive innovations and the solution that's coming into the marketplace. And starting this summer, you know, as we looked at the commitments that we made at the beginning of last year, I think at Las Vegas, we participated with Ralph and Glenn in terms of the connected car, and we announced our intent to broadly deploy connected vehicle with 4G LTE across all of our brands in Cadillac, GMC, Buick, and Chevy across all of our lineup. And starting this summer, beginning of July, we actually delivered on that commitment and made that service available to all of our customers for US and Canada. And certainly it's a very hard 2 years in terms of our collaborations around the solution, but we're excited about seeing the engagement and the customer experience around OnStar and 4G LTE and the experience inside of our car.
You know, the amazing thing that I think you've done and committed to, Mary, which is impressive to me, is as far as we know, you have deployed the largest number of vehicles ever around the globe with 4G LTE. How many models are you now equipping with 4G LTE?
So with our commitment, this is across all our 4 brands, and by the end of this year, we'll have more than 33 models across our company with 4G LTE connected in our solution.
Incredible.
So this is really a commitment. And we're certainly going to help with the statistics that you quoted by 2017. And I think our company certainly believed in this embedded technology and make that the value proposition. This is not about just building in a Wi-Fi hotspot. And we're turning this more into a connected platform and really helping GM building more safety and security capabilities and help us innovate in this space. As early as this week, we had a show at Detroit ITS. Our CEO, Mary Barra, really took the opportunity to talk a little bit about the future innovations around connected car. And one of the things that we will be introducing as part of our Cadillac platform starting 2016 is the functionality of Super Cruise and vehicle-to-vehicle communication. This really elevates the role of the connected car and how it's really helping to bring safety and more functionality to drivers and make it convenient for our drivers on the road.
So Mary, I got to bring something up. So you look at that beautiful Corvette. When we launched that Corvette, and it was at CES, the greatest thing that Ralph and I saw is here's first of all, a car launch at CES, but they talked more about LTE speeds than they did about horsepower, which was really exciting. The other thing that we got a lot of questions about was, and Mary, I want to throw this question to you, is the acceptance of the user trial. And I think you can explain to everybody how you decided to come to market, how the user trial works, and in the so far, how we doing?
Yeah, so we're kind of in the early stage. So as we launch in the early July, we're giving our customers free data trials for 3 months with 3 gig and 3 months, whichever one comes first. And so high acceptance rate, we're in the high 96 to 98% of our customers accepting terms and conditions, keeping our cars connected, enjoying the connected data service that we offer, along with the OnStar free trial for 6 months. So great acceptance in the marketplace. And then I think majority, as we learn about the user experience, not surprisingly, that majority of data is being consumed by family and children on weekends. So that's a real high peak data point for us. We also wanted to say that this is with the simplicity of the connected vehicle, really we want to push out the simplicity of the user experience. It's simple to use inside of our vehicle. You've got the blue button. You have the capability to really educate the customer around how to connect multiple devices, up to 7 devices inside of our vehicle, and really being able to help customers to understand this is another space so that they can bring devices in and really make their life more simple. Along with that, I think that you mentioned, Ralph, that simplicity of integrating our solutions is to really make the data purchase plan simple for our customer. So it's $5 per month. It's got an a la carte options inside of our vehicle. So if you want the data capability for the weekend trip, you can buy it and purchase that with the simple blue button push or through mobile. We also have options that we obviously package with our OnStar package. So those are some of the lessons that we learned as part of our partnership around bringing business solutions into a vehicle. And along with that, I would say the second phase, in addition to making this platform, I want to also say that we're taking our relationship into beyond just US and Canada. So starting second half of 2015, we're really expanded our AT&T relationship to enable us to bring OnStar to Europe on selected countries. And really making sure that we take the solutions and the lessons learned from the past couple years and really enable us to address some of the unique capability and feature functionality for the European markets.
That is huge. Thank you for that. That's great. I want you to think about how massive this is, because I don't know anywhere in the world that this is happening, right? You have GM, one of the largest manufacturers of vehicles on the planet, deciding to equip all their US models, 33 of them, with 4G LTE, and we're giving customers a trial, and they're accepting on a high 90%, so they're walking out of the dealership with high 90% connectivity out the door, and now we're going to Europe. It sounds like a great thing.
It's awesome.
We're
and
excited.
I got to give you one more accolade. I love your commercials. If you haven't listened to Mary's commercial, you probably don't even realize it's a car commercial till you get to the end when you're talking about the impact that car will have on the internet. So Mary, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. All right. We're going to bring out our next guest. I'm going to bring out Arun Bikshesvaran, who is the Chief Marketing Officer for Ericsson. As you all probably know, Ericsson is no stranger to the automobile business. They've been in it for a long time. But Ericsson's connected cloud is really pushing the envelope while allowing the OEMs they work with to differentiate their service. So let's bring out Arun.
Good to see you. How are you?
Hey, Arun.
Good to see you.
Arun, thank you for being here.
Great to be here.
We love the partnership with Ericsson and AT&T Drive Studio. I gave the audience just a little bit of a taste for the great research that's going on this part of the connected car. Can you comment more about the stuff that you're finding out with actual customer research on what they think about the connected car?
Absolutely. So, Ralph, just to begin with, I think this combination of cloud-based service enablement powered by a fantastic high-performance mobile broadband network is really taking us to a new frontier in terms of industry transformation, and connected car is a great example. And to really underpin that with great consumer research, we initiated this joint study. We conducted this in 5 different countries, the US, Brazil, Germany, China, and Japan, big car-heavy countries, approximately 7,500 people across all these different countries. And guess what? The awareness of connected car is at a high of 58%. 58% of respondents know what a connected car is, which is a great start. And then we go on to find out that almost 2/3 of these people rate connected car services as a key criteria in the next car purchase. And now we are talking about a highly selective audience. This is a group of people somewhere between the age of 18 and 65. They play an instrumental role in the next car purchase in the family. They spend an average of 30 minutes in the car every day. So these are not, these are very, very relevant people. And so when we talk to these people, and 2/3 of them say that a connected car service is very important, we start to get a little bit curious. We say, are you really sure? How sure are you? Would you be willing to switch brands to get a connected car? And 50% of the respondents said they would be willing to switch a brand.
50%?
50% of the people say they would be willing to switch a brand. And these are people who are going to buy a car in the next 2 years. Okay, this is amazing statistics that we have. Now, of course, as you know, we have a lot more information, and it'll be available through the Connected Drive Studio. And let me leave it with one other thing, which is very interesting. Of course, in the car, you have passengers and you have drivers, and you got to understand the requirements of both these people, right? So the drivers come out and say that the most important thing for them is navigation. The rest of the people could care less about navigation. That's the driver's problem, right? They said, get me where we need to go. We are worried about entertainment.
Yeah.
Keep us entertained while you do the heavy lifting. So that's the key message that is coming out.
That's great. So Arun, let me ask a question. So you guys have been working with many of the OEMs around the world. You have this phenomenal platform, I'll call it, right? Your cloud platform. Talk about other things you're seeing, other things you're talking to the OEMs about that you can tell us about, and what those opportunities are from your point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we have done, Glenn, is on a global basis, we've worked with Volvo, and we've had a long-standing collaboration with them. Volvo just announced their XC90 car just a couple of weeks ago. And the XC90 was, I think, the first major redesign of that model in over 7 to 8 years. So they were very compelled to come out with some, industry-breaking features. So one of the things that XC90 and Volvo aims to do is to eliminate fatality from automobile incidents by the year 2020, completely. So Volvo has always been known for safety, but now what they believe is that by using this connected services platform, they can really take safety up 3 notches and completely eliminate fatalities. That is one thing. The other thing that we found out is that in certain parts of the world, Volvo, using this connected services platform, can get enough information that can power their whole trucking operation so precisely that drivers and truck owners can buy power on demand when they need it. Really? So you've got an engine that is capable of 100, you buy power for about 50, and then exactly when you need it, you can push a button and you got extra power just for that gradient that is needed. Fantastic innovation that is coming around. And then the other thing that they're, of course, doing is talking about twinning. And twinning is of high interest in consumer cars as well. But in trucks, when you're on highways, twinning becomes fantastic because you can really eliminate a lot of accidents and improve fuel efficiency doing that. So lots of interesting things coming from a global platform.
That's fantastic information. And this is kind of breakthrough. This kind of stuff hasn't been done before.
Absolutely.
These cars haven't been around before.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, you've heard from a car manufacturer, a wireless manufacturer. Who are we going to hear from next?
All right, so next we've got Mike Kennewick, who is the CEO of VoiceBox Technologies. And one of the key elements of the connected car is that we believe technology should make the car safer. Distracted driving is a big discussion in our industry. We all know that really well. And the place for your hands is on the wheel. The place for your eyes is on the road. And Mike is leading and doing unbelievable work around voice technology, voice-guided system, voice apps. And so what I'd like to do is bring Mike out to talk to us about exactly what his company's working on. Mike?
How are you, Mike?
Good, how are you?
Welcome.
Mike, great to see you.
Glenn?
Hey.
Have a seat. You know, when we first met and you first gave me the first demo of your natural language capabilities, I was absolutely blown away. I don't know if you've ever sampled the VoiceBox product, but it's absolutely amazing. Tell us where you think this is going, because I think that is such a critical part of the connected car to make sure that it's safe, that people keep their hands on the wheel and their eyes on the road. And I think your product is a key enabler of that.
Yeah, thank you. We're very excited about the work that AT&T is doing with companies like General Motors and Tesla, because it instantiates a vision that we've had for over a decade. And that vision was one of a plethora of connected devices that surround us in our daily lives. What we envisioned was a world of devices with microphones and speakers where we could interact with the internet by just talking to it, just like in the movies. And I think that world has arrived. And so today, the technology that has been put into the vehicles allows us to bring applications into the car. What we're striving to do is make the applications simpler and easier to use. And in the next generation of cars, we'd like an experience that transcends the applications. So by way of example, if a user was looking for an Italian restaurant, and you say, find an Italian restaurant, instead of leaving that application in order to make a dinner reservation, why not just say, make a reservation there Saturday night at 7:30 for 4 people? And when you're done with that, why not say, send the address to my friend? That kind of interaction, we think, maximizes the capability of the connected car, but does it in a very safe way.
That's great. So Mike, let me take it another place, because you started to go there, and we've had lots of conversations about really utilizing voice in your whole life, right? Whether in your home, in your car. I know you have a vision of a voice cloud that would follow you. Talk a little about that vision, how you see that working.
Sure. We believe that the Internet of Things is upon us. The connected car is one component of the Internet of Things. But you're seeing other announcements out there about connected watches, connected glasses, connected thermostats, and eventually connected refrigerators and appliances. Right. When that happens, I think the way the consumer thinks about the Internet will undergo a fundamental shift. Today, most of us sit down at our home computer and we use Google to find our way around the Internet. When we have a connected world, the Google Blue Links don't work on a connected watch. They're unsafe while driving a connected car. And they certainly don't make sense on a thermostat or a home appliance. And so we believe that voice is the one component that transcends all these devices. And so if I were starting my day and I said, hey, remind me if John leaves me a message, and I do that with my watch. I get into the car later that afternoon, the car should tell me, hey, John just left you a Facebook message. Would you like to hear it? Sure. Later on the way home, you're listening to jazz and internet radio in your vehicle. When you get home, you can say, continue listening. So that kind of experience where you've got a single voice against multiple devices, I think is the reality that's going to happen in the next few years.
Mike, the demo you showed us, which was to me an eye-opener, is that your technology allows you to use the same thing in the home, in the car, in your workplace, and everywhere in between, so you don't have to have different programming. To me, that's what customers, I think, want. They want their life to be made simple. Thank you for being here, and thank you for giving us that great input.
Terrific. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. All right, for our final guest, I want to introduce you to Jay Vijayan. Jay is the Chief Information Officer for Tesla. I think we all know what Tesla's been doing out in the marketplace, an incredible innovation. We signed a multi-year deal with Tesla and have just loved the work we've been able to do with them. So I'd like to bring Jay out to talk a little bit about what Tesla's plans are. Jay?
Jay, it's good to have you here.
How are you?
Good to have you.
Thank you.
You know, our relationship with Jay and Tesla goes back a way, and I still remember the first time that Elon gave us a factory tour and let us drive the Model S. I had never driven a Model S before, and we were driving around the perimeter of the factory. Andy Geis was in the back seat, and I stepped on it. And before I realized it, Jay, I think I was doing 100. I looked back and Andy's eyes were popping. It was just, wow, what an experience. Terrific product. Thank you for being here. You know, you're the CIO for Tesla, and we really think you are at the forefront of using over-the-air updates to the car. And that's one of the real benefits of having 4G connectivity to the car, or any kind of connectivity for that matter, to be able to allow a manufacturer to give almost instant updates. Can you talk about your vision of how do you take it from here, and how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. Glad to be here, Ralph, and thanks for sharing your experience with Model S. And it's an amazing car, and I hear similar things from several of the people who have driven Model S, and have been driving it myself for more than a year and a half. So coming back to the connected car, so it's So the way we thought through the whole design from the beginning is to, it's a ground-up connected car. So starting from a Roadster, it has always been connected from telematics to infotainment. And Model S has been a full ground-up design in terms of to be a totally connected car. And came up starting with every car is with the AT&T SIM and chip. It is always connected. And the over-the-air updates is very critical for providing the best experience for our customers. And also have a good feedback loop to get what our customers need as quickly as possible. And just Apple released the iPhone 6. Very similarly, our customers and potential customers are excited about 6.0 in Model S, the software update. It's coming up with some exciting things. But it creates that excitement for our customers, at the same time provides a great experience for them, and also get all the feature functionality that our customers need in future very quickly back to them. And we hear from our customers and get back to them very quickly. So it makes it much, much easier for us.
And I think those days when we would have to go into a dealer to get a CD to change the mapping, those days are gone.
Yeah, customers love it today. I mean, I've seen several emails and calls from customers how much they really enjoy this over-the-air updates, because one is it's a super low maintenance. They don't have to spend their time to take to a dealership or a service center, Tesla service center for it. And they mostly get what they want, starting from a simple infotainment update to even a suspension update to the car happens over there.
That's great.
Phenomenal.
So Jay, let me ask a question. So obviously the S has been a huge success. You guys have made some announcements about some other models, right, that are coming out, more mass models.
Yeah.
Talk about how it changes. Talk about how having a connected vehicle and what that does as you go into a more mass model, as you go into your, I guess it's a crossover, that's really exciting. The X is a beautiful car. Talk about how you see the applications changing in the car.
I think it will continue to evolve for the best. Primarily, one is extending that experience that we give to the customers today. So Model X is the crossover SUV that's coming in fall 2015. And a lot of people are waiting, including myself. So it's going to be an exciting car. And then the mass market car is coming in a few years. And obviously, we announced the Gigafactory announcement, which is also going to be worked in tandem. That's going to be a phenomenal thing for our mass market car. The big thing for us is, I think things are working great in terms of Model S and Model X. When the mass market car comes, that's when we need to scale up significantly in terms of stay connected, not from few tens and 100,000 cars to probably a few million cars, right?
We like that.
Exactly, and that's where we need the partnership and continued help from AT&T in there for the North America. So I think this is going to continue to evolve. Right now, all we have thought through is to keep how to keep the customer experience stay focused in the car. So eventually, I think we are talking about opening up our infotainment system for other partners. Again, we still haven't made any decisions on that, but still working through with our partners and hearing feedback from our customers.
That's great. Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's give Jay a round of applause. Thank you very much.
I think Jay's going to be busy with the IT work for that Gigafactory, don't you think?
Oh yeah, a lot of work coming. Yes, yeah.
So I've got a question for all of you, and I'm going to go back to we've kind of touched on it a few times, but I think it's really important that we focus on the safety aspect of the car. We focus on reducing distracted driving. We focus on car-to-car communications and car to infrastructure. So I guess I'll start, Mike, with you, and we'll go. What's your view on all that, and how do what you do every day going to really fold into how we make that better for customers?
The research has shown that the reality of what people do during their commutes on their daily drives is they're trying to fill the time and be productive. So no matter what we do with regulations, people naturally want to do that. They're going to bring their phone in the car, they're going to reach over, they're going to grab it, and they're going to try to do some things. And the more capability there is to do that, the more they're going to do it. So it's imperative that when we bring the internet into the car, that we add a component that allows you to interact with it safely. In the past, voice recognition has been frustrating and maybe even distracting for a lot of consumers. It was all about command and control, and you'd have to say, phone, phone, system, system. Now, you should be able to just say what you mean and interact, fulfill the need, but do it in a safe way.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Mary?
So I think with OnStar being in the marketplace for the last 18 to 19 years, we've actually built our brand core value about safety and peace of mind for our consumers. We're leveraging voice capability through our advisors, and we utilize the embedded technology to really figure out how to make sure that we do the automatic crash detection. We talked about the next generation of vehicle to make it more intelligent around Super Cruise and vehicle to vehicle.
Right.
All these capabilities really around safety, peace of mind for our customers. And I do believe that if you bring these technology well, including bring your devices into the vehicle and integrate it in a way that's simple, intuitive for our customers, eliminates the need to pull out the phone and really have that kind of distraction, and it is a safer solution. So it's a multi-channel experience across the vehicle solution, and we're excited about the technology that's enabling it.
That's great. Arun, obviously, you've got a platform that's very versatile. You guys are kind of in all kinds of parts of the car. Talk about your thoughts around this.
So we are in all parts of the car and outside the car with the network as well. So when we look at, for example, if you go back to the study, the number one feature that the respondents talked about was advanced assisted driving, right? And so drivers really want to be able to have a safe experience so that they can do everything else that they want. And any assistance that they can get from the system or from the network, they really appreciate that. So we take that as a requirement into our development process. So on one hand, it is a requirement into the service enablement capabilities. On another hand, it is a requirement into the network capabilities that we have, whether it is for vehicle-to-vehicle communications, short-range communications, and building low latency capabilities into the network. So all of those go back. We take this very seriously, one on the software side and one on the network side. So it's an exciting future that we see.
That's great. Jay, how's Tesla think about this?
Yeah, we take safety very, very seriously. And from the design, from the infotainment, the voice commands, as well as the text-to-voice, all of these have been designed all through the car, and then it will continue to evolve. The key is that the car is already connected, fully connected, so the crash detections becomes much easier. So it's all built into the car already, and today it's available for customers. It will inform the customer right away if there is a potential crash or something that's going to happen within the car, or if there is a failure, it happens right away. And that also we're working through continuously to make sure that not only connected to Tesla, if there is any way for us to connect to first responders.
That makes great. Thanks.
Terrific. Well, this about wraps it up. I wanted to summarize that I hope you've enjoyed the session. I hope you've gotten some insightful information that highlights and convinces you for the huge opportunity that the connected car represents. And the people that are around this panel are the people that, in my view, are the pioneers that are making this happen, not only in the US, but globally. And I think as a result of their efforts, your experiences driving one of these cars in the future is going to be safer and more entertaining than anything you've ever done. Thank you for spending the time with us this morning. Jay, Arun, Glenn, Mary, and Mike, thank you very much. Have a great day.